Hello and welcome to the Oakland A's UK live stream ahead of the A's game on Sunday, July 10th against the Houston Astros. I am Matt. Yesterday we did a pre-game live stream and the A's won, so of course we had to do another one today. You can join in if you're watching live via the chat. Post your chat comments and I can see them and I'll bring some up if you've got any questions or queries or comments about how the A's are doing right now. It's been a lovely Sunday here in the UK. Apparently there's going to be something of a heat wave here over the next couple of days, so we'll see about that. No air conditioning or such niceties here. We don't have enough hot days to bother with that, so it will be a bit sweltering for us, but hopefully the A's can really get us in a good mood with a win today, which of course would mean a series win over the Houston Astros and a very impressive 4-2 week on a homestand against the Toronto Blue Jays and the Houston Astros, which we would have more than gladly taken if offered at the start of the week. These are the things we're going to be looking at over the next 20 minutes. Logue, striker pose. You would have seen my Madonna Vogue inspired image in the lead up. So great start by Zach Logue. We'll look back at yesterday's game. A's roster moves. We've made a couple of moves today, so we'll have a look at those. And of course, we will previewing today's game, which starts at 1:07 p.m. local time out there in Oakland, which is a 9:07 p.m. start time here in the UK. Okay then, so let's have a look back at yesterday's game, shall we? It was a 3-2 victory for the Oakland A's over the Houston Astros. We said in the pre-game live stream that ideally, Zach Logue, if we could get 5 innings from him, that would be tremendous. And if he could just avoid a big inning, that would set us up to at least give the team a chance. And that is precisely to a T what Zach Logue gave us yesterday. Looking at his details, 5 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 walk. Found some trouble in the second inning, 2 runs across the plate. However, he did exactly what you wanted him to do, what any pitcher you would hope to do, but especially a young pitcher trying to find his feet in the major leagues. He didn't let the innings snowball. He kept things under control. He kept making his pitches, let the defense behind him make some plays, and he got out of the trouble with just 2 runs allowed. You don't want to give up 2 runs in an inning, but if that's all you give up, then you give yourself a chance to get back to the bench and reset for the next inning, and you keep the game alive for your team. So Zach Logue did a brilliant job yesterday in his 3 innings, and he was very happy with how it went, of course. Big opportunity for him. He's had a few starts earlier in the season, went back down to the minors and struggled a little bit with the Aviators, so he was trying to find some form. It was a spot start in the place of Frankie, and he really needed, I'm sure he was desperate to make a really good impression. About as tough an assignment as he could have been given facing the Houston Astros, but he really came up aces in this one. And if I press the right button, always a risk. We can have a little listen to his thoughts after the game.
Yeah, overall, I thought it was good, and as far as approach goes, you're trying to just pitch my game, get ahead of guys, use both sides of the plate, kind of mix up the arsenal a little bit. Just try to get ahead and attack them. Yeah, when I had second and third one out, I told myself to just kind of limit the damage, and got that weak ground ball to Maldonado hit to first, so kind of stinks that one scored a run. But like you said, I thought I did a decent job limiting the damage, and our offense took over from there.
It certainly did, yes. The offense did a really good job in terms of just getting a few runs across the plate. And thankfully, that's all we needed. I put on the details there. A's pitching allows the A's 4 hits to count. And after Zach Logue started things off with 5 good innings, you really have to give a lot of credit to the bullpen, who came in to pitch 4 innings and blanked the Astros from there. So with that in mind, we shall now take a little look at the box scores from yesterday's game. So here is the pitching nines for the A's pitches yesterday. Zach Logue at the top, set the foundations for a win. But look at the 5 guys who came in. AJ Puck and Domingo Acevedo both pitching a clean inning. Zach Jackson came in the 8th inning, gave up a hit, but then Sam Moll came in, the lefty, to get the final out. And then we turned the ball over to Lou Trevino in the 9th. Yes, we were all a bit nervous about that. He gave up a hit, he gave up a walk, but he got the job done. His 7th save of the season. And look at the ERA, 6.66, and the mark of the devil for Lou Trevino. Make of that what you will. And it was desperately needed for the A's pitching to really hold up, because once again, Houston Astros got a great start from their starting pitcher, Framber Valdez. He's been very tough against the A's, tough against most teams to be fair to him, but has been particularly stingy when it comes to A's hitters, and he pitched very well for them yesterday. 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 walks. It was just that one inning where things came a bit awry. 3 runs, 2 of them earned. And that, thankfully for the A's, was actually all we needed. Yes, and it was an interesting one, wasn't it, that inning? Let's look at the details. A 3-run 4th inning. Felt like the tables were turned, I put in my notes. It was like the Astros decided to play like the A's for half an inning. Lots of crazy mistakes. What do we have? We have bases loaded. Martin Maldonado was unable to make a play at the plate. Murphy very cleverly was able to slide in home to give us a run. Then Elvis came home on a passed ball. Piscotti then came home to make it 3-2 on a wild pitch. So it wasn't so much that we were manufacturing runs, but that we were grabbing hold of some freebies and making them count. And, you know, we've not had a lot of luck this season, let's be honest. We got a bit of luck in this one. Did feel like Valdez got a bit frustrated. There were a couple of calls that probably should have been called to strike and didn't go his way. One particularly on a curveball. It was absolutely beautiful curveball. I don't think you could really blame the umpire for it, actually. It broke so much. You could understand why the umpire didn't call it a strike, but it was a perfect pitch. But yeah, he seemed to get a little frustrated, maybe overthrew the ball a little bit for the wild pitch. But thankfully, the A's were able to take advantage of that opportunity in this time. And that's something that the A's have really struggled to do all season long. And that's where the quality, where the experience really comes through. And it's what the A's haven't got, really, let's be honest. But they were able to get it done yesterday. 3 runs across the board, and they were able to make them count. So let's take a look at the hitters on the box scores. So in all honesty, not a lot to see on the A's batting lines. Sean Murphy went 2 for 4, absolutely stung a ball to the opposite field, clanging off the wall. Great hit that was. And then there were hits with Piscotti and Brown, but that was pretty much it. A few offers along the way, but we made those 4 hits count in a way that we haven't done in the past. And again, yes, helped out by the Astros, it has to be said, but we take what we can get. As for those Astros, only 5 hits for them too, so real credit to the pitching staff of the A's for really limiting what these guys could do. Yuli Gurriel went 2 for 4, adding to his 3 hits in the opener. And I think the main thing there, the third man on the list, Jordan Alvarez, an absolute A's killer, kills everyone, let's be honest, but an A's killer in recent times, went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. So long as you can keep that guy without getting any hits, well, you're doing very well, and that's setting yourselves up for a chance of getting a win, which the A's were able to acquire. So there we go, a good win yesterday for the A's. It sets up today's game with the A's having an opportunity to win the series. And the A's have made a couple of roster moves ahead of that game, so we will have a quick look at those. One of them really wasn't a surprise. Zach Logue was always going to be optioned today, so he was just brought up for a spot start to take Frankie Montas's place, whilst he is injured but not actually on the injured list, so there was a man over there. So Zach Logue came up. We went with a 7-man bullpen yesterday just to make do. So Logue has been optioned back to AAA, but surely with his confidence sky high. Domingo Tapia is brought back up, returning to the bullpen. So we moved to an 8-man bullpen yet again. Having a quick look. He's made 3 appearances so far this season. Last time on the 22nd of June, where he gave up a couple of runs, although he pitched a couple of innings against Seattle in that outing. So something to do for him. He's got a bit of work, it's fair to say, but he's another guy who is just one of many getting an opportunity to play in the big leagues with us this season, and it's an opportunity for him, and hopefully he can take it. The same can go for this guy, Dermis Garcia. If you're like me and you haven't really heard too much about him, well, it's a real story. This is a guy who was signed by the New York Yankees as a real big, I think it was something like $3 million, a big bonus from in an international signing as a free agent. He was signed by the Yankees as a 16-year-old in 2014. He's a guy with a lot of athleticism, a lot of power. That's really been his calling card. A lot of power, but a big, big swing, big home runs, and big strikeout totals. Now, in the way the game is played nowadays, big strikeout totals don't tend to matter too much, but you've got to hit the ball enough to actually make those home runs count. And that's been a thing that's held him back so far in the minor leagues. The A's were able to pick him up. He has changed his approach, or at least it seems that way, looking at the numbers this season, in terms of shortening his swing a little bit, making more contact, cutting down on the strikeouts, but therefore also cutting down on the power. But it's a really great story after so long in the minor leagues and so much pressure and expectation that was put on him after the big money signing. He has finally been given the call. He was brought into the manager's office yesterday for the Aviators and was told he was being called up. So very warm congratulations to Dermis Garcia. He obviously has taken the place of Christian Bethancourt on the roster and also on a 40-man roster. He is with the team today. I know the A's beat writers have had a little chat to him today, I think through a translator. And he's obviously very emotional about it all. He's on the bench. Whether he'll get it into the game today, I don't know. It's obviously a big thing, but it would be fantastic if an opportunity came up in the later innings to give him a pinch hit to allow him to get his first major league at-bats. But there we go. It's a real low-risk, high-reward situation for the A's. Exactly the sort of thing, a bit like Christian Bethancourt, really. I mean, Bethancourt was a more experienced guy, had played in the majors before, but he was a minor league free agent. Let's give him an opportunity. We've got at-bats to use. Let's see if he can make something of it. And he has, and we've turned that into a couple of minor leaguers. So now Dermis Garcia will get an opportunity. We can give him some regular at-bats and see how he does. If he's overmatched, well, we haven't lost anything, have we? But maybe there's something there. Maybe there's some star potential. Maybe he finds his swing. He finds an approach that works in the big leagues. And he can come through and be an asset for us. So, yes, well worth a call. Good luck to him. Hopefully he does well. And, yes, fantastic story. Let's see. Hope it has a very happy ending. So, that brings us on to today's game, of course. The rubber match of the series against the Astros. And it should be a good one because the man himself, Cole Irvin, is on the mound. Cole, always believe in your soul. He is 3-6 with a 3.35 ERA. Finally got credited with a pitching win last time out, and arguably his best pitching performance in his short major league career. 8 innings pitched, 1 run allowed, 4 hits on Monday against the Toronto Blue Jays. So excellent for him. It's really good to see him up there and doing well because it's going to be a tough task again, as per usual. Houston Astros, they're 55-29 coming into this one. They've got an off day tomorrow before 3 games in Anaheim against the Angels, and then we go to Minute Maid Park next weekend before the All-Star break. So Cole Irvin is going to be coming up against those guys. It will be his 15th start of the season today. He's pitched into the 6th inning in every one of his last 10 starts. So he's showing some good form there in terms of getting some innings in. Faced the Astros at the Coliseum on June the 1st, went 5 2/3, giving up just 1 run on 6 hits. We know what he is. He's a good left-hander, not overpowering the fastball, but his fastball change curve, occasional slider, very good at avoiding free passes. So yes, hopefully he can induce some weak contact, get some ground balls, get some double plays, and really lock down that offense that can be a potent offense. But we've seen yesterday we can do something against them, and that would be great. As for the A's, we come into this one 29-57, going for magic win number 30. Can we get it done? Let's see. More importantly, we have a chance to win this series. I think that's the main thing. If we can win this series, having won a series against Toronto, that's a great week at home. After today's game, we go on to Texas We have 3 games against the Texas Rangers, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We then have an off day on the Thursday before the 3-game series at Minute Maid Park, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday ahead of the All-Star break. So a positive week here, a winning week at home, and then even going 500 next week. I mean, that's a really nice way to go into the All-Star break at the end of what's been a very trying, at times very difficult first half of the season. If we can go into that All-Star break just with a bit of something to give us a good feeling, something to be happy about, and that is going to be nice for us to then have a little rest and come back again for the second half. So yes, so Cole Irvin is there. Let's then have a look at the bullpen as it's situated now. So Tapia comes in as the 5th righty, Mole, Puck and Snead as the lefties. And it was 5 of those guys, Acevedo, Mole, Puck, Jackson and Trevino, who all pitched yesterday. So we used them quite a bit. It would be good if Cole could go a good 6 innings or more today. That would be really helpful. But we've got some guys there and they've been in decent form. Generally speaking, I know there's been a few slip-ups, as there always is with the bullpen. But generally, they've been pitching pretty well over the past 2 or 3 weeks. So hopefully they can keep that up today. If we then look at the lineup and put a bit of music on as well in the process. Yes, so a few changes today. Obviously, we are up against Jake Odorizzi, who is a right-hander, 3-2 with a 4.04 ERA. Came out of his starts against the Red Sox on the 16th of May with a left leg injury. That put him on the injured list. He was finally activated on Monday, where he faced the Kansas City Royals, allowed 5 runs on 9 hits over 4 innings, so a difficult return for him. This will be his second start off the injured list. The Astros do have the benefit of a well-rested bullpen, though. Jose Urquidy went 8 innings in Game 1. Yesterday, Valdez went 8 innings, so they've only needed 1 inning from the bullpen so far, so they can afford Odorizzi to go 4 innings, maybe 5, and then load up the bullpen on him. But he's a decent pitcher. He's just had some injury problems, unfortunately for him. Fastball, cutter, change, slider, not a hard thrower, sort of 92 miles per hour. Not really a strikeout guy, but he's the sort of guy who can induce weak contact. So we'll see what we can do today. We are a lineup that enjoys weak contacts, it's fair to say. So hopefully we can change turn the tables on him today. So this right here is today's starting lineup for the Oakland A's, and a few things to pick out from that. Elvis gets a day off, as does Sean Murphy, he's DHing. That's what I was going to say. I thought he's still in lineup. So Elvis has got a full day off. Sean Murphy is being a designated hitter today, so he will bat. But Stephen Vogt comes in as a catcher. And Vogt is joined by Machine and Tony Kemp as left-handers coming into the lineup. They obviously were out yesterday facing the lefty, but against the right-handed pitcher, Odorizzi today. Machine, Vogt and Kemp have all come in. So this is a full lineup. Famal Machine is going to be leading off and playing third base today. Ramon Laureano is still playing in right field rather than centre for reasons unknown. Seth Brown is batting third and at first base. Sean Murphy will be DHing today, batting fourth. Batting fifth is Stephen Vogt as the catcher. Batting sixth is Stephen Piscotty in left field. Batting seven, Tony Kemp playing second base. Batting eight, Sky Bolt playing centre field where Ramon should be. Batting ninth, the man, Nick Allen. Allen is the key. He is batting ninth and he moves across to what I would call his natural position at shortstop in place of Elvis. And there is the bench. 4 right-handers on the bench today. So we only had 3 on the bench yesterday because Bethencourt left and we hadn't replaced him by that point. But today, so you've got Elvis, Garcia, the new guy coming up, Sheldon Noisy and Chad Pinder all there as options off the bench for Mark Kotsay. So let's see what we can do, hey? Let's see if we can get a win today. I am quite confident, actually. I think Cole's going to have a good outing. I think we're going to be able to get to Odorizzi early, and hopefully we can make it stand up. I reckon we'll get a few runs of Odorizzi in the first few innings and then lock it down and get a win. Wouldn't that be a great way to end up this homestand before we go to Texas and then head into the All-Star break? That would be perfect. It would be ideal. Whether we can get it done, I don't know, but hey, let's give it a go. Anyway, there we go. That is today's pre-game live stream. Heading up before the A's game against the Astros. We are now, what are we? Just down to 20 minutes away from first pitch. 15 minutes or so from first pitch today. Hopefully we can get the win and set ourselves up with that 30th win of the season to set us up for a good week next week. I will be publishing the A's UK schedule in terms of all of the start times and TV details for the A's tomorrow on our A's UK blog, www.oaklandauk.com. And then the plan is that when we get to the All-Star break the following week, that is when we will be finally getting back on the podcasting horse, so to speak, and putting our next podcast out where we will be reviewing our trip to New York and reviewing the first half of the A season. So take a look at that, subscribe to the podcast via your podcast provider, and we will see you soon. So yes, A's playing today. We have a couple of day games over next week, so I'm sure I'll do another live stream or two, pre-game live stream coming in the coming week. So keep an eye on @OaklandAUK on Twitter for details of that, and of course don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell here on the YouTube channel so that you are notified when we next go live. With that being said, enjoy the game. Hopefully the A's can get that win today, win the series 2-1, and head off to Texas with a spring in our step. Thanks a lot for watching. See you again soon.